Ravindra Naik, then I am principal scientist at ICR Central Institute of Agriculture Engineering at its center in Coimbatore. I request you to note down my email ID and also my this number. Okay, please note down this email ID and number. I'm sure the organizers they may share with you. Okay, a brief about our institute, maybe a minute or so. I am. You can just go through the website here. What I given is CIAE.ICAR.gov.in. This is a premier institute for agriculture mechanization, equipment, and other related things. Okay, so what I'll be concentrating on the equipment parts because this particular this lecture assigned to me is basically targeted towards the equipment part. And if we see the general across the different operations, if you see harvest and after harvest equipment, still the mechanization level is low. Uh, so it means that we need to go for more equipment, and that is the need of the hour, especially in harvest and after harvest equipment. On the right side, you can see the India map. In this, it shows the level of mechanization in different states because if you see the level of mechanization in all states is not same because the industry available, the equipment available is different from different states. Example for Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, a good number of equipment manufacturers are available. And similarly, there is a scope for equipment manufacturing. So what quickly I will I will just touch upon the importance of millet, which is not required, but still I will touch for a minute or so. I will talk something about the equipment which is needed for the initial processing, equipment for the equipment for secondary processing. I will quickly glance upon the different value-added products of millet, and then I will give a case study of the Agriculture Engineering Department of Tamil Nadu that is giving an enormous job to the equipment supply, especially in the millet sector. So what I'll be talking in brief about this. Okay. This is to just tell how the millet is across our country. So you can see it is concentrated all over the country, and then afterwards it is and then after the introduction of the millet year, it is slowly it is expected to slowly pick up. Okay, and then after I did not tell you about the importance of millet. It is good for consumers, it is good for growers, and also it is good for the planet in terms of its in terms of its eco-friendly nature. Okay, so this is in brief about it. And then this, as informed, India is on top in millet production. And then afterwards, this gives again the profile of the different states in which the different types of millets are grown. Let me not go into the details because since you have come for this webinar, you must be aware of all this profile. And then as per the study of IIMR, NIN, other things, there is a complete nutrition profile of the different values of millet. I appreciate IIMR has taken an good step uh, to bring out the biofortification of millet. Our team in Coimbatore is working to develop the equipment for the biofortified rice, millet, and other things, and it, I'm sure it will be of great help for the mechanization of things. So, what is the issues basically related in processing? The issues in processing is basically related to its anti-nutrition property, its color, and also it's not so nice mouthfeel, high lipase activity, in short life, because the short life is a challenge, its stability, and also the lack of awareness. So what these are the major issues around which basically it is around it. So you can see a profile of the structure of the millet. So we can see here this so you can see endosperm, germ, and other things. Okay, so what this is in brief regarding the issues related to the use of millet. And but if there is an issue, there is always a solution because and then solution is basically by our processing activity and also the mechanization activity. Okay, so you can see there are a lot of techniques by which the issue, what I told earlier, it can be tackled. It can be by decortication. It can be it can be with a combination of soaking and sprouting. It can be by cooking, it can be by malting and fermentation, heat treatment, then after extrusion cooking, and flaking and whatnot. So there is a lot of techniques by which the problems that we had mentioned earlier, it can be tackled. And and then and then if you want to do it at a higher level, we need equipment, we need mechanization. So as I told you, we need to process for its digestibility, its safety, its organic property, and then after to meet the nutritional value and other things. And if you see, it is basically because of the size of the product, and also it has a lot of different types of raw material is mixed, and then after we have got a very low shelf life. This is the reason that we need to tackle, and there are a lot of methods and steps by which it can be processed. So what I will tell about that in the so you can see generally these are some of the steps of processing. First we are harvesting, and then after the important step is drying. Then we have got this crushing and winnowing. I'll be telling about this equipment in my subsequent slide. Then after we need to do cleaning, we need to do threshing. Then after the stones has to be removed. And then once the clean grain is obtained, we need to remove the outside coat that is called as decortication, which is being and that is being done by dehullers. And then after we need to do the systematic uh, trading into different fractions, and that is a very important step. And subsequently, we have to do this whole scale packaging and also the storage. Okay, so what these are some of the steps in which the processing is done. So let us come to the equipment part. Okay, so let us come to the equipment part, because believe me, all technologies are available. The technology has been developed by IIMR in US Raichur, US Bangalore, CIAE Bhopal. A lot of NIN, a lot of institutions have developed uh, the product. They have developed the whole activity, but then to do in a commercialization level, to do at the next level, we need equipment. Okay, so basically, in terms of after harvest equipment, the equipment are being classified into equipment for threshing, equipment for cleaning and grading. Then we have got a different set of equipment for drying, milling and extraction. If you want to remove the outside coat, it is called as milling. Then is how to utilize the unwanted material, that is called as waste utilization, and then how do you add value. Okay, so what these are the general sectors of equipment. So what, and then in processing, you can see there are a couple of steps. It can be initially, it is called as primary processing, secondary processing, and also tertiary processing. In primary processing, what I told earlier, it takes care of threshing, drying, and then cleaning, destoning, dehulling. So a lot of activities it can be taken up by this activity which is called as the primary processing. Okay, so let me tell you some of the equipment that has been developed that has been developed in our institute to do, because all of us think that sowing of the millet seed is a challenge because of its size. But please believe me, we have developed beautiful equipments, and then the equipments are there at at all levels. So you can see here the equipment for sowing. It is bullock drawn, it is manually operated, it can be tractor drawn, it can be power tiller drawn, and then believe me, these equipments have been sold in 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 a huge number. If somebody is interested to purchase this equipment, you may contact uh, you may contact the organizers, or you may contact me, or you can contact our institute. So I just wanted to show a couple of slides to take out the hardship of sowing, harvesting, and threshing. Because only when we get the good product into the processing line, we are able to do it. Then after the next challenge, what people think is for harvesting. Harvesting is never a challenge, because No, we have got very beautiful equipment. No, we have got very beautiful equipment. Equipment again can be hand operated. So again, we have got very efficient reapers. So you can see reaper, or if you want to do reaping and binding, this equipment is called as reaper binder. So you can do it is doing reaping and binding. Again, it is self-profiled. Again, we have got this tractor operated equipment uh, which does the harvesting, reaping, and binding. And then we have got the self-profiled equipment. So why I'm showing this to you is this because in the processing line we need to get the good product without stones and other things. And for this, there is a there is a need to there is a need to there is a need to introduce such kind of handy and small mechanization too. Okay, and then nowadays a lot of talk about how do we use the other crop. So that means after harvesting, how do we use the straw? Even here we have got equipment for making it into bundles, and that is called as balers. So you can see this particular equipment, it forms into bales. So you can see the beautiful bales are being formed, and then and and then there are many companies which are into this particular sector. Okay, so with this small introduction of sowing, harvesting, and also collecting the straw material, let us come to our main topic of the how to use the equipment for primary processing, secondary processing. Even there is a small equipment that is being developed for now finger millet thresher. So you can see there is small equipment for finger millet thresher. A lot of institutions have worked on it. Again, this is an equipment which is for multi-millet thresher, so that a lot of millets can be threshed, because these are the challenges to get the good raw material in the processing industry. Okay, so what this is an overall of the different processing steps. So you can see the drying, crushing, again pre-cleaning, pre-stoning, and believe me, there are very good equipments of different capacity for almost all the operations. There are very good equipment. Okay, so you can see this is another legend. So you can see here, so you can see, this is for all the blue color is for how the equipment profiling is done. We can have aspirator, cleaner, destoner, grader, huller. So we have got a series of equipment, and then after how the the raw material moves, how the secondary product moves, and also how the discharge moves. Okay, so this is just an idea to let you know that we should have a complete profiling of of the activity that need to be done. Okay, so now let us come to the crux of the presentation. So that is the equipment for primary processing. So you can see equipment for primary processing are of different type. And here the most important thing is we need to know the capacity of the equipment, the capacity of the equipment that you need, because some of you may need 100 kg per hour, some of you may need 200 kg per hour or 1000 kg per hour. Accordingly, the equipment has to be selected. The important point is the equipment that we select, we need to use at least 70% of its efficiency. Assume that we are selecting the equipment of about 100 kg per hour. Our raw material processing should be at least 270 and above kg per hour to make the equipment economical. Okay, this is a takeaway point. We need to select the right kind of equipment. Again, you can see we have got equipment for destoning, we have got equipment to remove the outside skin. So we have got a series of equipment. Okay, this is another set of equipment which is there at IIMR Hyderabad. So you can see we have got the equipment for cleaning and stone removing, de-husking, purling. Used to do scratching or pitting for certain millets, and there are very beautiful equipment. So you can see I'm showing here two small clipping. So one is the centrifugal type of de-esker, and second is the abrasive type of de-esker. Of late, a lot of popularity is there for the centrifugal type of de-esker, because in centrifugal type of de-esker we can go for higher capacity, and also there is no need for the there is no need for the grading of the grade. Okay, so no, but the options are there. I'm showing you a lot of options that are there. So as I told you, there are a lot of equipment. Assume that you want to go for cleaning and grading. We have got lot of equipment. So you can see the options that are being shown in the screen. Okay, I am able to show you so many type of equipment because our center here is involved in testing of equipment. If there are some manufacturers who have joined this in this meeting, you please learn that, you please understand that our center here is issuing test certificate for the processing equipment, and in case if you want to go for the subsidy program. Okay, so what the next sector is for pre-cleaning. So why the pre-cleaning is done? So that the unwanted material is removed, because when you're doing the harvesting, there are other material apart from the grain that comes to the processing line, and again we have got many type of equipment that can do the pre-cleaning. The pre-cleaning can be done by the shaking or vibration mechanism, or rotating or rotary mechanism. So we have got a lot of mechanism in which the pre-cleaning is done. The takeaway point is we need to have an excellent raw material if you want to go for processing, because if you bring the unwanted material into the processing line, it is going to add to the cost of operation, and also it's going to affect the quality of it. So what we need to get the clean millet. So what, as I told you, this is a rotary type of pre-cleaner in which by the rotary action, the unwanted material is going off. Okay, a quick look of the different type of the equipment that is available. So you can see this rotary scheme, and there are a lot of industries, especially if you come to Coimbatore and other place, we have got a lot of industries who are making such kind of millet-based equipment, and then the capacity is based upon the end user. Okay, this is another set of equipment which does the cleaning of the millet, and also it divides it into different grades, different size, different shapes. So there is a lot of options in which the millet can be done. So then another important operation that we need to have in millet processing line is that we need to remove the stones, because the size of the stone which comes into the processing line and the size of the millet is almost same. So the challenge is we need to remove the stone, and for this we have got very efficient equipment that is called as de-stoners. Please remember, there are very efficient equipment which is called as de-stoners, and then after we need to really use this particular thing. Okay, and then the next set of equipment is that it does de-stoning, and also it removes the unwanted chalky material. So that is called as de-stoner, come aspirator and grader. So what it does these three activities of de-stoning, that means removing of the stone, aspirator removing of the chaff, and also it grades into different fractions. Such kind of equipments are commercially available, and also we have tested and issued test certificate for a lot of industries who are manufacturing this. Your next question may be, why the company need to take the test certificate from us? The test certificate is being taken so that the company can give the product in the government subsidy under the subsidy program. Example, we are getting subsidy of 50% reduction, 60% reduction. Only the industry and the equipment, those who have got test certificate, can do such kind of thing. Then after another important important sector, as I told earlier, this is called as de-esker, and this is the most important step in terms of the in the processing line. De-esking means we have to remove the outside food, and for this again we have got the we have got the de-esker, which is working on abrasive mechanism, which is working on centrifugal force, which is working on the rubberized road. So you can see a emery, emery base, rubberized road, centrifugal impact. So there are a lot of equipment. Please, before you go to the procurement of any equipment, you need to understand the equipment that you need and also the capacity of the equipment that you need. And this is the heart of the system to get a good de-esking unit. In some of the major example, in case of Raji and other things, we are doing the action which is called as scratching or purling. Okay, scratching is basically by a small abrasive action so that some of the outside skin is being removed. And then afterwards, this is also for this we have got the equipment which is called as furler, or sometimes commonly the layman will also tell it as a millet de-esker. But basically it is called as a furler. So what even this kind of equipment is available. You please see here the capacity is how much here? 350 kg per hour. Okay, if you don't need such a big capacity, there is no point in purchasing such kind of equipment. So this the takeaway point is we should know the capacity of the equipment that you particularly need. Okay, and then afterwards you can see our institute has developed a lot of model of millet mill. Okay, millet mill is basically our institute what they are developed. It is basically based on the abrasive action, and there are a couple of models that we have developed. It can be 80 to 100 kg per hour. Efficiency, again, it depends upon the quality of the input material that you are putting, and also the cost of operation is is reasonably good. So this is some of the equipment that has been developed at our station, and this is a very important equipment what I told you that is called a centrifugal type of millet husker, and this is the one which is really popular. It here the de-husking it takes place by the centrifugal actions. It means that the billet it it hits the outside surface, the rubberized outside surface at an extremely high force, and due to the impact, the outside skin is removed. Okay, so with this you can just understand. Okay, so again this is again in centrifugal we have got this a single centrifugal or double centrifugal drum. But in this case, we have got this two type of no, we have got this double a centrifugal chamber, and this is a real important equipment. So please learn about the different equipment. Then this as expected, a lot of institutions, a lot of industries have developed its its own type of millet de-esker. All the all the millet de-esker has its own advantage, but then it is left to the end users to select which kind of equipment that we need to really have. Then after we have got so you can see a lot of companies are there which is in and around Coimbatore. In Coimbatore, we have got at least a dozen of no, at least half a dozen of industry who are making such kind of equipment. This is another AVM engineering work. It is a Salem-based industry which is doing all the kind of equipment. Then after we have got another set of equipment that is sometimes in case of de-huskers, only the outside that skin is removed. Then after sometimes the end user requirement is to remove the additional layer after de-husking, and for this we can use the equipment which is called as polisher, and sometimes the de-husker itself, if you're doing multiple passes, it can do the work of polisher. Okay, so what these are some of the equipments that are basically available. Okay, Then after one more challenge is that sometimes after the de-husking, there is still some unhusked particle that is still remaining in the output. Now, even for this, we have got equipment to separate the unhusked from the husk material. That basically does by the action of the it is basically by the difference of the specific gravity. Okay, so we have got a beautiful equipments for it. So you can see the equipment, and then of late, this particular concept of introduction of color sorter is slowly reaping into the millet processing industry. Of course, already it is being used, but its importance is being felt now. And there are some entrepreneurs who are having only the color sorter, and then afterwards the processor, he comes and then after he use the color sorter, and then after he pays the amount that has been fixed by the entrepreneur, and then after he takes back the product. So you can see the capacity of the color sorter is basically depending upon the channel. How many channels? Yeah, how many channels? Whether it is 2 channel, 4 channel, 6 channel, 2, 4, 8, 16, 16, 64. So there is a lot of so what the capacity depends upon the number of channels that a color sorter is having. And you can see a lot of industries are there who are making this color sorter. In Coimbatore, for example, we have got a lot of industries who are making this color sorter. The color sorter concept basically it started with the rice industry, but now it is extended to all other industries. Okay, so this takeaway point is the capacity depends upon the number of channels, and also there is an adjustment in which the unwanted and then after unwanted and then after the other component can be separated, and separation is based upon color. Okay, so what this is and color separator, and then afterwards there is a lot of model for making into powder. Okay, once we remove the hull and the polishing is done, sometimes our requirement is to do the powder, and you can see there is a lot of models. So you can see this is about the capacity is about 30 kg per hour, but here it is in second model, it is 100 kg per hour. So we have got capacities of different sizes, different capacity. So you can see it is basically by the impact and the abrasion action, usually the polarization take place. So this we need to select the right kind of equipment depending upon our capacity that we need. So if you use a good pulverizer, we can get the we can get the end product as per our requirement. And again, there are many type of pulverizer. It can be stone based, it can be emery based. Okay, this slide I have taken from US Bangalore, I suppose. So we can get a stone based double cutting plate, and there is a lot of models of pulverizer. We need to select the right kind of pulverizer. Then after getting the powder, we sometimes we need to blend it. Blending means mixing with different composition, and again we have got an equipment which is called as blender. So basically, it does the activity of mixing the different fractions. Then then this is another beautiful equipment which is called a shifter, floor shifter. So what does floor shifter does is once we do the pulverization. Once we do the pulverization.
Ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Somebody is speaking and disturbing.
మాకు వచ్చింది 3:30 గంటలకండి.
సాయంత్రం
వచ్చింది ఇప్పుడు అందుకే డైరెక్ట్ గా ఫోన్ చేసినాను. ఏం చేస్తాం?
No, can I continue?
Yes, sir, you can continue. Sir.
Continue. Okay. Okay. So you can see here in floor shifter, the floor is divided into different fractions because sometimes the raw material needs a different kind of powder for different products. So this is a very important equipment, especially if you want to go for the high-end productions like this. At that time, we need to clearly differentiate the powders into different fractions. Okay, this is another equipment which is slowly catching up the market. That is called as Rava maker cum grader. You can see millet rava maker cum grader. The same equipment can be used for making the rava and also to make the liquid idli batter, dosa batter. Okay, this now all this equipment we have tested. Now you can see we have tested the equipment in last March 2023 to an industry which is based in Coimbatore. So I just wanted to show you some of the slides because same equipment it is being used for rava making and then the equipment with the addition of a source of H2O. Okay, so you can see here the source of liquid is being added and then after we are getting the idli batter, dosa batter, millet batter. Okay, so what these are the innovations that are being done by the and believe me, huge sales of the equipment to a lot of FPOs. And a lot of FPOs are buying such kind of equipment. And then afterwards, sometimes we need to do this roasting of the millet. Okay, roasting of the millet is done. And again for this, we have got efficient roasters. Again, if you see here, the roaster, it can be, you can see it can be LPG based, it can be electrical based, or sometimes there's a liquid, thermic liquid based, there is steam based. So there is a lot of this heating mechanism, and the capacity is basically by the size of our input drum. Okay, size of input. This is called as 15-liter this capacity. So so after roasting, we can get it at the output time. Okay. So what these are, and again we have tested a lot of this equipment in our testing center. This is another important thing: selection of the right kind of screens. Okay, selection of the right kind of screen is important because the efficiency of the equipment, it depends upon the speed, especially if you're doing grading and into different fractions. We should select the screens, and there are a huge number of screens. Usually the manufacturer will suggest you, and also there is a set standard for the different sieves. So you can see the Indian standard sieves are there. Okay. So what I just want to inform the house that we here, okay, you can see a team of myself, and then after one team and a team from IIMR and from US Raichur, Viftam Tanjavur, we all sat together and then after we brought out the BIS standard, Bureau of Indian Standard, IS standard for certain equipment of millet, because last year we are brought out. So you can see here Indian standard for cleaner comparer for millet. It was brought out in December 2023. Okay, so you can see the team here: Ravindra Naik, Deva Bandya, Vishwakarma, Dayakara from IIMR, Sudha from TNAU, Pallimuthu from Niftam, Nidoni from Raichur, Vishnathan sir. So you can see this whole team have sat together, and then after last year we have brought a couple of standards from Millet. Okay, I'm just showing you some of them. You can, if you are interested, you will share the standards to the organizers, and then maybe if there are some manufacturers here, it will be useful. Okay, again, we have brought out standards for millet DS. We have brought out standards for de-stoners, and then a lot of other things are in pipeline. This is another success story of our institute at Madhya Pradesh and also in Tamil Nadu. What it is, we have established the millet processing center. So such kind of efforts, it can be a lot of other institutions are also doing, and then after it can be a continuing act, especially if the FPOs are involved, it is always a success story. Okay, so far I told you about the equipment for this first sector, that is the primary processing. So let me quickly tell you some of the equipment for secondary processing, because no, because I think I'm having another 20 minutes to go, 20 or 25 minutes. So what I'll try to do the justice for the time that is allotted to me. So what in secondary processing we have got no, we have got the end products like this, puffing, malting, fermentation, roasting, flaking. So we have got a lot of products that is available, and then again for this we need equipment, because everything we cannot do manually, because once if you do manually, the cost economics will really go out. Please note this point that soaking and cooking combination is a real important sector, especially in terms of millet, because no, because our target will be for softening, our target will be in reduction of cooking time, improving the sector. So what is, we need to work out on the soaking and cooking time. And then of late, a lot of studies are going on regarding the sprouting of millets, because it has been reported that the sprouting, it improves the digestibility, it improves the nutrient value, it improves the anti. So what, there's a lot of advantage. But let me not go into a lot of details of it. I'll just touch upon one. Okay, this, also the concept of halting of millets. A lot of product has been developed on this particular process, and then always the blanching is a very important part. And again, here we have got equipment. So what does blanching do? Blanching, it does the deactivation of enzyme. It reduces the microbial load. It removes the impurities. And for this, we have got very efficient blanchers of different heat source, electrical based, LPG gas based, steam based. So we have got a lot of equipment. Okay, this is a small example to let you know that how the single equipment can do this. It can do multiple activities. Assume that you want to do two operations of blanching and drying. Okay, this now, because the whole time we are not going to blanching, the whole time we are not going to do the drying. If we are able to use the same equipment to do both the operation of blanching and drying, it will be an excellent effort. So with this, what we are doing is we are reducing the cost of operation, we are reducing the space, no, we are reducing the if you're reducing the space availability, energy available. So there's a lot of advantage if you're using the multi-purpose equipment. And please try to adopt such kind of multi-purpose equipment. And nowadays, a lot of talk about fermented millet product, fermented millet product, fermented for this. In case if you want to do fermented product, this is a setup which has been developed at our institute in Bhopal, and we can see we have got the whole processing line for the fermented product also. So I just wanted to tell you that we have got very excellent equipment for almost all the processes. Of late, a lot of talk about heat treatment combination with millet. Example, we want a puffed millet, roasting millet, popping millet. So again, we have got very beautiful equipment. The equipment, it can be very crude to very sophisticated level. So you can see this is equipment in case if you want to do a roasting or puffing. So we are getting a lot of equipment for the even in case of popping, and this is a slightly sophisticated equipment in which we have got control of temperature, control of pressure, control of time, control of steaming activities. So what all these equipments are available, but then ultimately it boils down to our requirement of the end user. Okay, you can see even in IIM Ahmedabad, IIMR Hyderabad, you can see equipment which is called as gun puffing. Okay, so what does gun puffing equipment does is it does the puffing of the millet, and then again, so what I just wanted to inform you that there is a lot of options. Okay, so we can go for gun puffing, we can go for steam puffing, we can go for the electrical puffing equipment. So there is a lot of equipment that are available. Okay, this is another equipment that has been developed at our station for the small scale puffing of the of the sorghum, finger millet, todo millet. So you can see this is the equipment and that we have developed. So you can see a small video is there. So you can see it. So you can see millet popping machine. Here the beauty is the energy that is being used is is of a smaller capacity. So you can see energy only per 5 kilowatt, and then getting this result at such a low power consumption is really amazing. Okay, this particular technology uh, is really done a lot of interest in this particular sector of millet popping. So I just wanted to inform you regarding the different things. And then after the another product that is catching up is the flaking. Now, flaking is basically we are doing this. No, we are making it flat so that the millet can be flaked. So again, you can see it can be either by the steam process or by dry process. So there are different methods of making of flakes, and again we have got equipment that was basically targeted for rice and paddy. Again, it has been modified so that it can be adopted in terms of millet. Even in Coimbatore, we have got a couple of industry, even in Rajkot, Ahmedabad, Hyderabad also, I suppose. We have got in Chennai again, we have got one good industry who is doing a good flaking machine. Okay, so this is what I wanted to tell you, that the products are available, the product lines are available, but for an FPO or for entrepreneurs, what is needed is to do at a slightly larger scale, and for that we need equipment. This is another flaking machine that has been developed at our institute in Bhopal. So you can see the capacity is also given, is about 30 to 40 kg per hour, and also a lot of concept on steam flaking. So what after passing the steam, we can do the flaking activity because it improves the digestibility, it improves the palatability, it reduces the cooking time. So there is a lot of things. Okay, there is another approach that is by flaking by extrusion method, but here it is this equipment, although it is very good and perfect, but it's slightly expensive, and also the energy consumption is slightly higher. But there is an option by by flaking by extrusion method. This is another slide I would have picked up from IIMR only. So you can see a lot of technologies are there. It can be puffing, it can be flaking, baking. It can be cold extrusion, hot extrusion, instant mix. So there is a lot of diversification in the product line. But again, what is the challenge is that as I've always been telling, we need to have equipment. So you can see this is another equipment if you want to make the crispy types of things. So you can see, okay, it's not clean. So you can see there is a very efficient equipment. Equipment for mixing, we have got planetary mixing, we have got equipment for cookie making, quince screw extractor, coating, gun puffing, a lot of equipment. This is another slide I picked up from Bangalore. So you can see here a lot of equipments are there. Okay, so what in the allotted time, I just wanted you to inform you that it is the equipments are available for almost all the sectors. Assume you want to go for the noodles noodle making or vermicelli making. Again, we have got very efficient equipment. Okay, efficient can be so you can see this is also the equipment which is to make the vermicelli. Here in Coimbatore, we have got a couple of industries who are making the equipment for this vermicelli. So that if interested, I will link I will link up to them so that it will be beneficial for you all. Okay, so what I covered about the primary processing, I covered about the secondary processing. So now let me talk a couple of minutes about if you want to go for slightly higher end than if you want to make pasta, if you want to make this macaroni or pizza. So again we have got again we have got the next set of equipment. So you can see if you want to go for extruded product. So we have got very beautiful equipment. These equipments are imported. These equipment are also locally available. Okay, so it can either be imported equipment or also this uh, uh, locally available equipment. So so again, extrusion is there, and this is another slide from US Bangalore. So you can see a lot of extruders are there. Extruder can be single screw extruder, twin screw extruder. So extruder, what does it does is it provides the pressure, it provides the temperature, and then due to it, the required shape is being obtained. Okay, so then again we have got very beautiful equipment to make this kind of product. You can see the product making and also for the cutting. Okay, so you can see this is how it is being done. So again we have got equipment for this pasta making. Again, this is another set of equipment. If you want to make this pasta and macaroni. So we have got a lot of it. I just wanted to inform the house that there are options, but then we need to know what kind of capacity that particularly we are targeting. Okay, there is some problem in the video, I suppose, but anyway, I just wanted to show it to you. Even if you want to make some pizza, also, of course, pizza here it is made on a smaller scale, but assume that you want to go for a slightly higher capacity. Again, we have got the continuous type of equipment which does the spreading of dough, then this laying of dough, and then after this uh, we have got the total value chain is there. Okay, since the time allotted to me is 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 limited because I got another 7 to 8 minutes so that I will touch upon the other part. Assume you want to make cookies. Okay, cookies. This equipment is similar to our papad making equipment. Okay, papad making equipment with a smaller die. Okay, believe me, all these equipments are available in the market. If you need the addresses, if you need the suppliers, we are always there to link you to the industry. So there's an option for cookies making, and so you can see a lot of options are there. Okay, so let me not go into the details of and then after nowadays, a lot of talk about millet based ice cream. Okay, there are technologies for millet making ice cream. Okay, some of this movie is not playing, and also we have got technology to store the millet milk. Okay, I mean I'm just giving you the hint, and then after so you can always get back to IIMR to take the technologies, to work on the technologies so that you can go no, you can go further. Our team here is also working on a concept which is called as no, 3D printing. Okay, 3D printing concept. If there are some if there are some entrepreneurs, if there are some students here, you can think of having this particular concept of 3D printing. No 3D printing into your food profile or food industry, because this is a technology which is growing very fast, and believe me, the equipments are not very costly. The only our innovation that we need to do is really important. A couple of minutes, I'm sure that a lot of speakers would have told about the different value added products. So what the value added product, it can be based upon millet rice. I will not go into the details because no, because these are available commercially, millet rice and base. Then after we have got millet based, a lot of fermented product. Then after Then we have got ready to cook product. Then we have got baked and extruded product, millet-based beverage. I have taken the slides from our institute, IIMR, US Bangalore, US Raichur. All of them are and also the commercial entrepreneurs. So we have got a lot of options, a lot of products. Okay. Then after we need to give a importance to packaging also, because the packaging is really important. The packaging, it can be the initial packaging, a primary packaging, secondary packaging, and packaging during the transport. Okay, this is real important, and then you can see here there are very beautiful equipment, or equipment which is very concise, and so with the exact quantity of the packing, it can be done. So it can be done on a continuous basis. It can be done in the tube. So what, there's a lot of options. Okay, of late, a lot of talk about the concept called as vacuum packaging, because it removes the air from the packaging media. And again, we have got here equipment. This is called as vacuum packing equipment. Okay, if you need the addresses of these manufacturers, you please contact the organizers, or you can put a message to me. I will link you to the manufacturer. So what does it do is it removes the air from the packaging media, so that the shelf life of the product is improved. Okay, there is another concept which is called as this controlled atmosphere storage or modified atmosphere storage, in which we are doing the so you can see the oxygen is removed, and then we are adding carbon dioxide, we are adding nitrogen, so that the respiratory activity of the millet is reduced, and then the shelf life is increased. Again, we have got a lot of options for the in case of liquid filling equipment, and then after filling in the terms of the semi-solid form. So we have got a lot of equipment. So let us not go into detail of it. You please understand that the equipments are there for all the sectors. We have got another set of equipment for the sealing. Sealing, it can be like a hand operated, pellet, it can be leg operated, or it can be continuous type. So we have got a lot of sealing operation. Then afterwards, there is another section, another set of people who are working on the byproduct utilization. Byproduct utilization means, assume that we are removing the husk, we are removing the outside skin. How do we utilize it? Okay, there is effort in extraction of enzyme, in mushroom production, in functional food. So there is a lot of efforts that has been made. Okay, this is a study in which we can see that the compounds can be extracted at different methods. So this method, what I'm showing you, is by the combination of the heat and microwave extraction method is done. Okay, it has been also been used as a source of dietary food for the chickens and other things. So there's a lot of attempts that have been made, so that the other part of the millet, like outside hull, the germ and the bran can be used. So you can see our sister institute have tried to develop the bedding and mattresses in case from the millet. And then after our institute have done the disposable plates and cutlery have been developed from the outer sheath of the millet. So a lot of effort has been done here, and the need is that we need to have the total chain, the total value chain can be done. It can be done by the FPOs as you all. It can be done by universities. It can be done by institute. And if there's a good funding source, you can have this mobile exhibition van. You can have this mobile system, so that it reaches to the end product. Okay, so another 1 minute or so, I will tell you about the effort done by Agriculture Engineering Department, the State Department, in terms of supporting the equipment in millet. So you can see here, if you see in government program, in subsidy program, the government it gives subsidies, it gives reduction to the equipment either to the individual farmers or to the customizing center or to the FPOs or to the agro processing center. I'm sure all the FPOs must be knowing about it. And then the subsidy which is given is to the tune of 30%, 40%, 50%, depends upon the scheme. It depends upon the equipment. So you can see here it is about so you can see the percentage of subsidy which is given is really huge. It can be for the agro processing center, it can be for the FPO, it can be for the customizing center. But to do this, so you can see this is an example of an FPO which is based, no, which is working only on millet, supported by the state department. Similarly, I'm sure all the other states, it can be Orissa, it can be Andhra, it can be Telangana, Karnataka, all of the states are also giving uh, good support. So I'll quickly go through some of the equipment that is being supported by the State Department. It can be Ragi cleaner or destoner. It can be destoner, come grader, come aspirator. So you can see the huge uh, the huge support that has been given. So you can see millet dehuller subsidy to the tune of 75,000. So you can see a millet dehusker again subsidy to the tune of 70,000, pulverizer again 60,000. But to do this, now to get subsidy, what the government need is they need the test certificate, and then there are centers like Bhopal, centers like at Sifat Ludhiana. We are issuing the test certificate after rigorous testing of the equipment. These are some of the test reports which are based upon the millet-based equipment. So you can see a destoner come grader, millet mill, a pulverizer, then after. So what these are a lot of test reports that has been released, and this is how the subsidy program is being supported. A lot of test report, and then after to end my presentation because exactly I've taken the time allotted to me. I'm having another 1 minute, and I'm sure I'll wind up before it. So what in case of employment generation, it can be in terms of the millet production mechanization, what I told you. It can be in terms of processing and value addition, or it can be in terms of the utilization of byproduct. And then afterward, if you see, though we're talking about sustainability of the millet, of course it is sustainable. But you see, in major of the activity, we need equipment. Equipment is needed for mechanization. Equipment is needed for on-farm processing. Equipment is needed for this. It is needed for value addition. It is needed for byproduct utilization. For all this activity, it is required. I thank the organizers. I step on to the time exact 1 hour which has been given, that has been allotted to me. I appreciate the effort taken by all of you to join and listen to me patiently. I'm sure at least some of you would have learned something. If not, you get back to me. My email ID is there, Naik Ravindra at the